Hello everyone and welcome back. It's me, Trophy Wife, and today we're going to continue our playthrough of Corpse Factory. I am wearing the same clothes. I'm just recording one after another because I'm going to be on vacation, so I thought that this would be the best way to do it. So let's get started. Another dull morning in the office. The chatter of people talking on the phones, the humming of the air conditioning, the tapping of fingers against the keyboards. If I didn't have music to drown out the white noise, I'd probably go mad from being exposed to it every day. I don't know how everyone else deals with it. Thanks to a good night's rest, I've been able to work diligently so far. I've completed a few tasks already, but there's a lot more work to do. As I continue to pulverize my keyboard with thin, brittle fingers, I look out over the desk floor to see who is around. Shinya sits in his desk, his expression scrunched up in concentration. He is absent-mindedly scratching his face with the blunt end of a pen. Turning my gaze, I observe the back of T's head as she works attentively on her computer. She hasn't said anything to me since we arrived at the office this morning. Because I now know that she's not the one who requested my death, I feel more at ease around her. And with the photo of my own corpse destroyed, I can put yesterday's unplanned events behind me. I need to be more careful in the future. Forgetting that I planted a photo like that in T's desk drawer was an oversight and I can't afford to repeat. I need to be clever, calculated, cunning. Corpse Girl's ambitions require me to be at peak performance at all times. I can't go messing up like that again. I'm lucky that no one else was dragging into the whole mess. Imagine if I did something so stupid when trying to kill a real victim. I would have ruined the entire operation. Taking a deep breath, I clasp my cheeks softly with both hands. From now on, I'm going to truly focus about carrying on my plans. All I need to do is wait for the next victim to come through the website. I'm ready for it. Finding out the identity of who requested my own death shouldn't be my top priority. I'm immune to Corpse Girl's wrath, of course, so unless someone decides to come out at me with a knife, I'm perfectly safe. I'll check the website's request this evening as soon as I get home. It's too risky to try to access it while at work. With newfound resolve, I nod to myself and look ahead to the end of the day. The flickering notification on my laptop screen prompts a wicked grin to split my face in two. One new request. I don't waste my time before opening the details of the request. My heart begins to pound to feel the welcome rush of adrenaline flooding through my body. Request details. Today at 10:55. Victim's phone number, downloaded image. My eyes widen at the sight of the uploaded photo. Two people, two identical women. Twins, identical twins at that. The woman on the left circled in red. She's obviously the requested victim, but without knowing them personally, it is impossible to distinguish between the two. They both have the same stunning features. Lustrous hair and contagious smiles. This truly is an interesting request. I immediately jump to the conclusion that one twin wants the other dead. That's not the only possibility, but I'd like to think it's the case makes me excited. This type of request only serves to refine my resolve. I can't wait to start gouging out the victim's eyes. She will leave behind a truly beautiful corpse. As I wait for my secret weapon, the database of the deceased, to upload, my phone tinkles beside me on the couch. It's a noise message from none other than Kojori. Hey, you there about last time? Hi. Hey, that guy Ichi gone today. Is that so? Where did he go? Cremated. Family didn't collect him. Limited space, you know how it is. I don't know why Kojori decided to tell me this. I suppose he still thinks I'm requested Ichi's death, so I see. More names? What? Want me to look up more names? Corpse Girl's victims? Sorry, I don't have any more names for you. Shame. Tell me if you request more deaths. Oh, and do you know her identity? Who, Corpse Girl? Yes. No, sorry, I don't know who she is. Okay, is it you? Geez, are you back to this again? No, it's not me. I'm not as clever as all that. Okay, how does she kill? I'm not sure. Okay, what do you know, LOL? All I know is that the victim should receive a photo of their own corpse before they die. Everyone knows that. My dog knows that. It's her calling card. You had a request fulfilled. Tell me more. I don't know what else to tell you. Lame. Okay. By the way, I saw the photo. What photo? Ichi Handada's photo on his phone. The calling card. Huh. How did Kajori see it? Sure, he deals with dead bodies, but surely personal possessions are removed from the deceased before they enter the morgue. I need to play it cool here and not invite any more suspicion on myself. Are you talking about the photo that Corpse Girl supposedly sends her victims? Yes. Funny thing was definitely the guy, but photo didn't match the cause of death. I remember crafting Ichi's photo, of course. It wasn't all that long ago. I used the base image of a corpse with dismembered legs hanging from a power line. It was a memorable? Oh my gosh. It was a memorable image after all. It made a fearsome sight, but it's not something that could easily replicate by suicide or by murder for that matter. So I never really expected Ichi to wind up looking like the photo. From what I read in the obituary, he died in a traffic accident, but he must have been driving or he was a pedestrian. Either way, it's likely a collision with a vehicle. For starters, cadaver still had both legs. No legs in the photo. Did you know that? No, I didn't know. I haven't seen the photo you're talking about. You haven't? Interesting. So Corpse Girl doesn't share with the requester. Hang on. Okay. So only the victim sees the photo. Here just shares the photo in the chat. Sure enough, it's a snapshot of the corpse photo I produced for Ichi. He must have copied it from the victim's phone. The photo from Corpse Girl. Compare to this. Another photo is shared in the chat. This one I haven't seen before. It's Ichi's true corpse sprawled forward in the driver's seat of a wrecked car. Seeing a genuine corpse photo doesn't come as much of a surprise to me. After all, I've spent countless hours trawling through the database of the deceased. I've seen more than my fair share of destroyed lives. There's not much blood in the photo, kinda lame compared to the gorgeous rendition of his death that I lovingly crafted. It's still not entirely evident that what led to Ichi's car collision. This very well could have been a genuine accident. For my own ego, I have to at least pretend that Corpse Girl had a hand in it. Thoughts? The real death doesn't match Corpse Girl's photo at all. Why do you think that is? I feel pretty clever and manipulative by putting the question to Kajori. I want to lessen the suspicion of my true involvement as much as possible. You're asking me? Well, some theories. Corpse Girl's photos is a scare tactic, nothing more, but don't know the photo comes from. She convinces the victim to kill themselves. What the hell? How could his very first theory be right on the money? Just who is this guy? Is he stalking me or something? Does he actually know the truth? Second theory. Corpse Girl comes after victims, but a genuine accident happened first. Ichi's dead before she got to him. His second theory is off the mark, but I can see why he came with that conclusion. Regardless, this is a theory I want him to believe. I think the second theory is most likely. Why would someone kill himself from seeing a photo? Doubting my own methods like this leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Not that simple. Photo is personal and timestamps adds urgency, realism. Could be effective, especially if someone anxious or gullible. He's right, of course. Although causing death in this manner was never my intention when I first started Corpse Girl's website, it's a possibility that did occur to me that Rory Hunto died. Wait a minute, how did you even get this 2 photos? LOL. Now she asks. Police on scene like to share, more morbid than better. Dead guy with corpse photo on his phone fits the bill. They sent me both photos. We played spot the differences. LOL. Disgusting. I never knew the police could be so disrespectful to the dead. Well, I can't really talk at the very least. I'm not in the line of work. Anyway, coffee? Huh? Get coffee with me? Yes, no. Unbelievable. This guy wants me to meet up and grab coffee. Has this conversation really given him the feeling that I'm interested in him? Does he think we've bonded over the discussion of dead bodies? I'm about to tell him no, but some part of me hesitates and halts my fingers. Kajiro has connections, the morgue, the police. It's not inconceivable that he might be a useful tool in the future. At this stage, I'm about 80% sure he doesn't know my true identity. It might be safe to meet up with him. On the other hand, I get the impression that even if he knew who I really am, he'd only be impressed. It's a gamble. I could be beneficial or it could lead to me being caught. I might even get arrested and for my involvement in 3 deaths. Though, is what I'm doing really illegal? I'm not so sure, but I don't think a jury would take my side. That's why I have to on the side of caution at all times. Kojiro. Okay, let's meet. I type the words and hit send before I have more than a second thought. I might be a fatal mistake, but I'm clever enough I can wrap him around my finger and utilize his connections. Cool. Message you tomorrow. Bye. Kojiro's status immediately changed to offline. I rest my phone on the couch and look back at the laptop screen in front of me. The smiling, beautiful face of two identical women stare back at me. That's right, I was about to start working on the most interesting request. I still have plenty of time before I need to get sleep. With this thought in mind, I set about my task in high spirits. June 4th, Thursday afternoon. The tiny balcony jutting out from the side of the apartment is nothing like it was advertised in the real estate listings. When I first saw the misleading photo, I thought it would be spacious and bright, an open-air hideaway that I could use to get some fresh air and improve my health. I wanted to set up a tiny garden and grow some plants, nothing that would require a lot of work, but something that would occupy my spare time. In reality, the balcony is a depressing amalgamation of steel and concrete that saps away any desire to stand upon it. It rests in the internal shadow of the surrounding buildings and manages to catch the sun rays for about 4 minutes every day. It's an understatement to say I was disappointed when I ventured out upon it for the first time. I suppose, if nothing else, it's a good vantage point for looking out over the city, but that's the only positive thing I have to say about it. As I stand here with my back against the railing, calmly sipping my lukewarm mug of green tea, I breathe a heavy sigh. I should be at the office. I should be tapping away at my keyboard, getting through the backlog of work that has accumulated this week. Instead, I'm here at home, tired and strained and wearing thin at the seams. I called in sick this morning. I don't know if my superior about to lie, but he did tell me to stay home and feel better, so that's what I've been trying to do. It's my own fault I feel this way. It's my own fault I stayed up till 4 a.m. again. I know that a lack of sleep exacerbates my condition. I know that skipping meals and refusing to take medication takes me feel this way. I know that I do this to myself. I know. But this is me. This is what I do to myself as I try to make an each day. This is the way I stretch myself thin for no reason other than because some days I don't want to be better. I just want to be. I want to stay up late and work as Corpse Girl's request. My body needs sleep doesn't come before my ambitions. I want to eat only when necessary because when I'm slim, I look beautiful. I want to be beautiful just like her. I want to skip my medication because taking the same pills every day is a hassle and expensive, and I question whether I really need them anymore. If I can just stay at home like this, I don't need the medication. I even came out of the balcony, and that counts as being outside. So why do I need to take the pills? It's true that when I skip a few days, I end up like this. I try to convince myself that I'm fine and I'm fixed, like I was some broken thing that has been magically repaired. But I end up staying inside all day with the curtains shut and my eyes locked on a screen. I know that when I stay at the top of my medication, I can go to work and the park and the library without a second thought. I can get on the train and not worry about strangers breathing on me or touching me. I can go to the convenience store and leisurely look around. I even went to the restaurant last week and read a book while eating dinner, and no one even tried to cut me or abduct me. And no one tried to strangle themselves in front of me in Eureka? Can I really only go out and do the normal things because of these tiny pills the doctor said I need? Or can I do these things because I'm actually better now? Maybe I was never unwell in the first place. No, not irrational, just cautious, careful, concerned. I realize that my mug is as empty when I bring it to my lips and taste nothing but the slightly waxy, unpleasant sensation of smudged lipstick. So what is it? You have anxiety, depression, schizophrenia. The way it sounds is like depression, but also it sounds like anxiety. Well, I've been outside for long enough anyway. I'll go inside since it's getting late. Plus, I have the feeling that someone on the street below me has been watching me and is waiting to climb up onto my balcony. It sounds like anxiety or irrational fears. I enter my apartment, set the mug aside, and retreat into my bedroom. My phone is where I left it, sitting face up and begging for my undivided attention. I snatch it up, unlock the screen. I'm greeted by the last webpage I left open and my custom-made news alert for obituaries. From tomorrow morning, I'll be anxiously awaiting news of my latest victim's fate. I timestamp the photo with tomorrow's date, June 5th, 9:01 a.m. The unlucky 10 has already received the photo I sent out earlier today. After seeing the photo, I always made the burner phone out in the unused shed behind my apartment building. Getting the phone into the shed this morning was rather difficult. I had to cover up my face and hands with some old clothes, and I waited until nobody was in sight and dashed as fast as I could. It took me a good 10 minutes to collect myself inside the shed before I rushed back to the apartment and locked the door behind me. I don't think anyone tried to follow me. However, I know that I'm going to need to retrieve the phone again tomorrow and dispose of it. I'll check for a reply from the victim, of course, not that they will ever reply. Then I'll destroy the SIM and discard the phone like I always do. It might be difficult to get out there to the shed again. On top of that, I really should go to the office. Oh, and then there's one more thing I'm supposed to do tomorrow. Kijori wants to meet for coffee. I'm not deluded to think that I can pull all those escapades tomorrow in my current state. I resign myself to reaching for the bottle of medication on my dresser. Maybe another week of taking the pills won't be bad. They tend to increase my appetite, which is really annoying. It's a constant struggle to try to ignore the hunger that tears at my stomach. And it doesn't help that they wreak havoc on my libido. I never know what to expect. Sometimes I can look at the phone of Oi on my phone and feel absolutely nothing. Other times I can simply be scrolling through noise while standing in the train and feel an overwhelming urge to explode. I do my best to dismiss my doubts and fears, and I swallow 2 of my tiny tablets. I follow up with a sip of water from the bottle kept next to my bed, and I fight the urge to retch. I'll take a shower to freshen up. After that, I'll curl up in my bed and read. I need to conserve my strength for tomorrow, so an early night is in order. Maybe tomorrow is the day I'll finally feel better. I still can't figure out what's wrong with her. June 5th, Friday morning.
Where the hell were you yesterday?
Did you miss me?
Nah, just glad you haven't bit the dust yet.
That's so sweet.
T leans in close, almost uncomfortably
Listen.
so.
Have you had any trouble with Corpse Girl?
No, I think I'm in the clear.
Well, I guess the time marked on the photo has long passed. Maybe you really are safe.
Yeah. Thanks, though,
Thanks for what?
for thinking of me.
Ah, shut up.
T's face is glowing red with embarrassment. Despite our differences, our interactions regarding Corpse Girl have helped us bond a little. I'm not counting on T and having a lasting relationship. Even just quiet peace might be expected too much. I think in T's nature to want to pick fights with people regardless of whether she's close to them or not. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up quarreling again, no matter how much we learn to respect
I'm
each
at my
other.
desk if you need me, but don't bother me, you know?
She waves and leaves the cryptic statement in the air behind her. I return my attention to my computer and mark a few tasks on my list as complete. The next person to waddle up my desk as interface my work is Shinya.
You weren't in yesterday?
Nope.
Are you well?
Yep.
Okay. I've been meaning to speak to you about Sato.
Aoi?
Yes, the thing is, I'm kind of in deep water because of her not showing up to work. And then resigning immediately.
Shit. I was supposed to talk to you about that, actually. It kind of slipped my mind.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry, Shinya. It's my fault, really. I hassled you to get Aoi a job.
No. I didn't exercise due diligence. I really should have made her come in for an interview. Or I should have spoken to her myself to see if her heart was really in it.
When you put it that way.
I'm not trying to be callous, but what he said makes sense.
Listen, you couldn't have known it, but Aoi struggles a bit day to day. I'll just say she has some anxiety issues and leave it at that.
Anxiety, huh?
Don't tell anyone I said that. I was under the impression she's been doing a lot better, but maybe I was wrong.
I guess we all have our hidden struggles, right?
Right.
If only he knew. Then again, maybe Shinya struggles too. Maybe dating T is his cry for help. Maybe he's going to snap one day and come into the office with a knife. Or maybe he'll discover Corpse Girl's website and request Katomi Ida's death in retaliation for ending his career. Who knows? I can't read this guy as well as I initially thought. For the longest time, I was under the impression he had a crush on me. So what would
Anyway,
I know?
I hope Sato feels better soon. Maybe she'll find a job that suits her one day.
Maybe.
Say, seeing as we're friends now and all, would you mind if I ask you a, personal question?
that depends on what it is.
It's related to, intercourse?
Oh my god. My face scrunches up at the words. I don't like the direction this conversation is heading.
Shouldn't this be something you talk to your girlfriend about?
Yes, you're right. But I can't actually speak to her about it. You're really the only other friend I have, so...
Shinya's face takes a dark expression that's far more depressing than what he just said. I feel bad for the guy.
Well, what's the question?
If, hypothetically speaking, if someone pressures you into,
Sex?
His face turns red in an instant.
Yes, that. If someone pressures you into it and you really don't want to do it, what should you do?
Say no.
Say no. Firmly and loudly. No one should make you do things you don't want to do.
Yes.
Oh, he looks like he's gonna cry.
Of course.
T is an awful person. I feel that my answer didn't give Shinya the comfort he's obviously seeking.
Is Tomoe pressuring you into going all the way?
No, of course not. She would never...
Obviously, it is her.
Never mind. It was foolish of me to bring up this topic. I'm really sorry, Noriko. Please, forgive my lack of professionalism.
Shinya bows at me deeply, his face parallel to the floor. He quickly turns and scuttles away before I get the chance to say anything else. What was all that about? Could T be pressuring him? I wouldn't put it past her, but something doesn't feel right. Maybe he's pressuring her. She seems really smitten with him. Would she really push him like that? Maybe it's guilt from not being able to prevent his career going down the toilet, but I feel like I should try and do something to help him. I watch Shinya get on the elevator, and once the double doors close, I get up from my desk and scoot over to T's workstation.
Can I have a minute?
This is weird. Normally I come to bother you.
Yeah, sorry. Have you and Shinya ever gone all the way?
Huh? We've only been together for, what, a week? You think I'm some sort of slut? Hey, don't answer that! Look, not that it's your business, but... No, we haven't. Shinya's sweet. He's old-fashioned, you know. He wants to really get to know me before we go down that road. And I'm happy to wait. The last few guys I dated only ever wanted one thing from me. And that gets old real fast, you know?
Okay, I believe you.
Why are you asking me anyway? Did Shinya say something to you?
No, I was curious, that's all.
You think we're real friendly now, don't ya? Well, I don't mind some girl talk. Come talk to me anytime.
Thank you. I'll do that.
T waggles her finger in a goodbye wave, and I return to my desk. If I take T at her word, which I find myself doing increasingly often, then she's not trying to get Shinya to do something he's uncomfortable with. So that can only mean one thing: someone else is pressuring Shinya. But the guy admitted to me only today that his only friends is T and myself, so who was he talking about when he brought up the subject? Is it the boss? Is the boss wanting sex to forget about what he did? I'm a little worried that I haven't received a news alert for an obituary today. My latest victim, the twin woman from the photo, time-stamped at 9:01 this morning. If my method worked, like it has the last few times, then she should be well and truly dead by now. She should have slit her own throat, or something mysterious should have come along and slit it for her. It's not like I managed to identify her. Corpse Girl's power works. I'm no closer to figuring out why her victims die. All I know is that they do die. And yet, I can't find any matching obituaries for the day. I've tried searching manually too. I can't really rely on my automatic filter to get it right. I've scoured every source I can find and have come up with nothing. It's possible that she hasn't killed herself yet. It's possible that she's planning to do it. Or maybe someone else is still planning to kill her on Corpse Girl's behalf. It's also possible that this time my victim won't die. Depressingly, that puts me back at square one. My winning streak will be over before it really began if the corpse photo has no effect. I make a mental note to discard the burner phone when I get home. I somehow forgot to get rid of it on my way to work, being so absorbed with my strict morning routine. But it's too late. Barely 24 hours have passed since I sent out the photo. I'm not staying too far from my modus operandi.
Yo, you came. Mad.
That familiar halting voice snaps me out of my thoughts. Kajay stands before me wearing slightly cleaner clothes than the last time we met. It's very possible that he interpreted this meeting as a date and decided to wear his absolute best outfit. The smell of the morgue is only faint upon him thanks to the desperate cover-up scent of strong cologne.
Hi.
Can I sit?
Please.
He pulls up a chair and sits across from me. He relaxes and awkward all at once. He's tall, lanky, form doesn't really fit well in the tiny, cozy cafe he's selected as our meeting
Waiting
point.
long?
No, not really.
Great. Ordered yet?
No. What do you recommend?
House blend. Fantastic. They roast it here. Also, the chocolate gâteau is amazing. I'll order 2 slices.
Thank you, but I'm not hungry. Coffee is fine.
Roger that.
The waitress eventually comes around and Kajori places our order in fluent French. I think the waitress is taken aback as she bows politely and humbly asks him to repeat himself in Japanese. Once our order is settled, he leans forward and looks into my eyes.
You wear glasses?
I subconsciously reach a hand to my face and check if I am indeed wearing glasses. Of course I'm not.
No? Why would you say that?
He leans back casually and shrugs.
Couldn't remember. Maybe you had them on last time.
Last time, is he referring when we met at the library?
I've never worn glasses. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just making conversation. This place is great, right?
It's true that the cafe possesses a quite comfortable atmosphere. The smell of the freshly roasted coffee lingers in the air, and the display of various cakes at the front counter makes me ill. I can make out the faint sound of acoustic music in the background and the vocals of what I presume to be French. All in all, it's a nice place. He chose well.
Oh, is this place expensive? I just don't have much money, that's all.
Don't worry. It's on me. How's work? The bank, right?
I cock my head to the side. Did I ever tell him what I do for work? I don't recall saying anything on the subject.
I work at the head office for Temujin, not in an actual bank.
That's so. Huh. Read your profile wrong.
I relaxed somewhat at his explanation. Of course he would have read my noise profile before meeting up with me. That's pretty normal. I don't keep much personal information on there, but it's true that my workplace is listed. Our conversation is put on hold as the waitress returns with 2 cups of coffee and a single slice of chocolate gâteau. The cake is delicate and moist, and my stomach growls in betrayal of my convictions. He thanks the waitress in French, and she once again bows in embarrassment and takes her
Alright.
leave. He scoops a selection of cake with his fork and holds it out to me. I wave my hand politely and shake my head. He takes a bite and looks immensely satisfied with his choice of
Could
desserts.
eat if you wanted. You're skin and bones.
That's what I
Excuse
thought.
me?
I thought she was
Just
anorexic.
saying, could stand to gain some weight.
The nerves of him. Who would say that to a young woman?
I'll have you know that I eat perfectly well. Think.
Whoa. Sorry. Wasn't trying to be mean. You're gorgeous. Just saying, some cake wouldn't hurt.
I'm gorgeous. I feel a little flushed and I look down at the phone to avoid his gaze.
Try the coffee, please.
I reach for the cup in front of me, more due to the pleasant aroma than his suggestion. I take a sip. It's been served at the perfect drinking temperature and is absolutely delightful, rich, and delicate. I drink this all day. I've probably been wasting my time drinking canned coffee. This is the real
Thoughts?
deal. For the first time since he arrived, I smiled.
It's wonderful.
Right? I like your smile.
This guy is really laying it on thick. I don't come here to be swooned. Still, the praise is kind of nice, even if he just trying to play me with the oldest lines in the book. I figure I should switch the subject to encourage him to stop flirting.
So, how long have you worked in the morgue?
Wow. Good question. Okay, let's see. 34 now. Started there at 22. Damn. 12 years. Never thought about it. Shit, I'm old.
No, not at all. You're older than I expected, but really, it's no big deal.
How old are you? Can I ask that?
I don't mind. I'm 20.
Phew. Okay. Right.
Is that an issue?
No, of course not. You're mature for your age. Or I'm out of touch.
You're out of touch.
I can't help but giggle.
Wow. Okay.
He laughs it off, and I wonder if I did hit
Would
a
you
nerve.
date an older guy?
And there it is, straight to the point. How do I answer a question like that?
Good question. I've got no issue with age, but I don't really know if you're my type. And if I can be honest, there is someone I have feelings for already.
That's so. Unrequited love, huh?
Something like that.
Props can't compete with that. Well, that's okay. You're stunning. Out of my league. Thrilled to be friends if nothing else.
Friend sounds nice.
Mad.
He raised his coffee cup to toast and take a sip. Maybe I had him wrong. He might be a bit more mature than I gave him credit for. If he can take rejection without pressure to the point, that speaks a lot about his character.
Corpse Girl. Interesting, right? How does she do it? The photos, the killings, all without knowing the Vic's name.
Yeah.
Wonder what her death count is.
3, 4 if I'm lucky. I'm not trying to say that aloud.
Eiichi Hanada. Car crash. Was it planned? Cut the brake line. Drugged.
I have no idea. Sorry.
But you requested his death.
Yes.
I did lead him to believe that. I'll have to continue to go along
And
with
for
it.
no personal reason?
That's right.
Brutal. Don't request my death, okay?
We'll see.
His face lights up almost if he's impressed with the ambiguous answer, excited.
Maybe I should try the site. Request a death. Know anyone who deserves it?
Sorry, not off the top of my head.
Neither. Maybe you should request me. I'm dying to know how it goes down.
You know, maybe you shouldn't mess with this stuff. What if you really ended up dead?
I can protect myself. I mainly want a corpse photo. How does she do it? Oh, by the way, you read that book I gave you?
You mean Strange Flower?
Bingo.
I'm halfway through it.
Wow, fair effort. It's long. Thoughts?
It's interesting, I won't lie.
No, Belle Sinclair is a sicko, right?
Right. He's not all there.
Halfway through, huh? Has he dined with the dead?
Yeah. Who was it? His school teacher, I think. He dug up her body 2 days after she died and then dressed her in his mother's Sunday best.
Yeah, took the corpse out for Italian. I can imagine the waiter's reaction. Classic.
Kajiro seems really enjoying reminiscing about the book. The story is definitely interesting, but the way he's laughing at it makes it a little worried. Then again, the guy works in a morgue, so maybe the whole scenario is just comical to him.
That's it there.
It takes me a few seconds to realize what he's pointing at. Sure enough, the book in question is sticking out the top of my back.
Pass it here. I want to show you a funny passage.
I nod and reach for the book. I pull the massively tome from my handbag with a fair amount of effort. The book comes free, it snags on the bag zipper, and causes some of the contents to fly out. A few personal belongings fall to the floor and clatter. I notice my lipstick, lip gloss, notepad, pen hit the cafe's tile floor. Kajiro comes around to my side of the table and helps me pick things up. He pauses, then his hands grapple with another book that has fallen from underneath Strange
False
Flower.
photography? What's this?
I quickly reach for the book and try to snatch it from his grasp.
It's nothing.
He is quick and instinctively avoids my desperate grab. He holds the book aloft and continues reading the cover.
English? A comprehensive history of photo manipulation.
He returns to his seat and flips through the pages. As I finish packing my belongings away, I bow my head slightly, waiting for his judgment.
You can read this?
Only a little.
This is tough. My English isn't good. Thought it was French at first. These images.
He suddenly snaps the book closed and
I
looks
figured
at me.
it out.
I brace myself for the inevitable accusation.
Corpse Girl fakes the photos. The photos aren't from the future. Like that was ever possible. Photo is fake. Timestamp is fake.
He's correct, but will he go back to assuming that I'm Corpse
Hey.
Girl?
Why do you have this book? Are you editing photos?
I mean, I have an interest in it, but that's all.
This book is old. Doubt the techniques are useful anymore. Still, it's interesting. My theory. Thoughts?
About Corpse Girl faking the photos?
Bingo.
I don't know. Sure, it's possible. But can anyone fake a photo so realistically?
Realistically? Do you know her photos are realistic?
Thinking quickly, I snap back with an answer.
You sent me that copy of Eiichi Hanada's corpse photo. The one Corpse Girl apparently produced.
True.
It was good, right? Pretty convincing.
Very convincing. Is photo manipulation that good?
I suppose if someone skilled enough was doing it.
If it's not photo manipulation, then one more theory.
What is it?
Maybe the subject in the photo is a corpse.
I'm confused. Of course it's a corpse. What's your point?
Sorry, hear me out. It's a photo of a real corpse. Just not the victim's corpse. Corpse Girl acquires a real corpse, dresses it up. Just like in Strange Flower, she makes it look like the Vic. It's convincing because it's real. No photo manipulation.
I see.
Immediately, my mind starts to kick into high gear. He has unknowingly presented me with an unprecedented idea. What if Corpse Girl does get real corpses? What if she dresses them up, wounds them, makes them look like a carbon copy of the victim? Then she holds a photography session to capture the magic. The realism will be amazing, and it will be way more convincing than manipulating a photo, even though I've become pretty good at that. It will be the next step up in realism, I'm sure, to convince victims to kill themselves. If Corpse Girl's victims can be relied upon to kill themselves, then I don't have to continually question the cause of death. I wouldn't need to worry about whether some mysterious third party is wandering around slaying people on Corpse Girl's behalf. All the deaths would be caused by suicide. It would be predictable. Concurring victims would simply be a matter of forging a convincing enough corpse replica. But the legwork involved in acquiring corpses would be, that's it. The answer is sitting right in front of me with a smudge of chocolate cake on his chin and an empty coffee cup resting in his hand.
Hypothetically, would it be easy for Corpse Girl to even have access to dead bodies? Legal ramifications aside, could she possibly have a source of cadavers to desecrate at will?
Why don't you just tell him I'm Corpse Girl, because that's where you're going with it.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Take someone like me. I have the morgue. I'm there alone mostly. Someone like Corpse Girl makes me an offer. I'd give away spare corpses, no problem. Of course, I could get busted. It's not about losing my job. I'm not going to prison. The price would have to be right, but that's just me. Employees in other morgues, well, can't speak for them.
Interesting. So you would willingly work with Corpse Girl if the price was right?
Yeah, I've said it before. Big fan. I support her work. It's fascinating.
You're strange as well. They're all strange. Strange.
If she really is using cadavers to make photos, then, well, I'm offended she didn't come to me for help.
This is amazing. I never imagined this meeting would be lucrative. If I want to get my hands on all the corpses I'll ever need, I can just ask him here and now. I find myself breathing heavily, and I notice that my cheeks are warm and my head feels slightly airy. It all comes down to whether or not I really want to step up my game. The way things are with the twin women, at least my latest victims, doesn't seem to have given up the ghost. Maybe I'm being impatient, or maybe my work just isn't as convincing and powerful as I want to be. Then there are the cases of previous victims. Akane killed herself, there's no doubt about it. But Enichi, it's highly possible his car wreck truly was accidental. I may not have had a hand in that at all. Ruri, my first conquest, the cause of her death still eludes me. There's no way she could have killed herself in that position her body was discovered in. She's the whole reason I started suspecting someone else's involvement in the first place, after all. So there's one definite suicide, one potential murder, and one death that was an accident, a traffic collision that happened to coincide with the date I wanted the victim to die. Statistically, there's no way to know how Corpse Girl's power actually works. It's almost like deaths are just caused at random, and then you pile in the countless failures I've encountered over the past year. Well, my success ratio isn't very impressive. If I could truly compel victims to kill themselves, then it would take the guesswork out of the whole thing, that's for sure. With his help, I could acquire cadavers and make them look like my victims. The work would be completely different to photo manipulation. There would be gore involved, no doubt about it, and I'll take a steady hand, some makeup artistry, and access to clothing props. Then there's lighting to consider and backdrops. It's one thing to make an image at the database of deceased and have a corpse splattered on the prey event ready to go. It's an entirely different thing to have to drag a body out of the morgue, plant it in a position, then take a photo of it. There will be a lot of considering to do. It's not a decision I can make lightly. And on top of that, I doubt I have the courage right now to ask him straight up for his help. But if I do go for it, I'm absolutely positive it will lend a massive amount of credibility to Corpse Girl's mission. The extraordinary realism will pave the road ahead of me with blood.
Finished your coffee?
Oh,
I quickly take a sip and drain the cup.
that was delicious. Thank you for treating me.
Very welcome. Shall we head off?
Yes, let's.
Any plans for the night?
Yes, sorry I can't hang out longer.
No problem. I had fun.
He stands up and conjures his wallet. He leaves a few bills on the table and then steps towards me. I stand up too and play my best hand. I quickly lean forward and plant a soft kiss on his cheek. The maneuver is surprisingly difficult thanks to his height, and I don't think I pulled it off as gracefully as I had planned.
Thank you for the date. Will I see you again?
Oh, don't be like that. You already said you didn't want to be with him, and then all of a sudden he's got bodies you can get to, and now you're going to be all flirty. I give him my best alluring look as I bat my eyelids gently.
Yeah, of course.
He slowly rubs his cheek with a tender finger, amazed that it just kissed him.
Bye-bye now.
I spin and make a beeline for the exit. I hope my trembling legs don't betray me as I step out onto the pavement outside. It's not in my nature to try to seduce somebody for my benefit, so much so that my attempt at it has left me feeling rather queasy. I don't know if I pulled it off, but now that I've left the cafe, I can look back and see that what effect I had on him, if any. I cross the road with shivering runs down my spine. I hope I'm prepared for what I'm getting myself into. All right, everybody. Let's see if they say anything. Okay. I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.